Hello, hello, and
Hello.
welcome, Lionel, to Redefined Talks.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you're here. So, let me first off introduce our guest today, Lionel Njefi.
Jeffy.
Oh, Njefi. We should have rehearsed that.
No problem. No problem.
Lionel Njefi, the visionary mind behind URBEON, is not just a designer, he's a storyteller, an advocate for bravery, and a catalyst for change. Born in Cameroon and now based in Hamburg, Germany, Lionel's journey has been a courageous exploration of identity, culture, and the pursuit of individuality. In 2018, Lionel founded URBEON with a mission to redefine urban fashion, infusing it with the bold spirit of neon, creating a brand that stands out through its colorful prints and encourages individuals to be true to themselves. The name itself, a fusion of urban and neon, reflects the brand's commitment to bringing vibrant prints to urban lifestyles, embodying the courage to be authentic and to stand out in any situation. His creative journey began at the kitchen table of his apartment in Hamburg, where Lionel crafted the initial designs that would have later evolved into URBEON. Though URBEON doesn't remain in Germany only, with French R&B artist Taiki Taik,
Yeah, my man.
wearing and representing URBEON's exclusive Mama Lisa tee, wearing it at his concerts and when at home, which is a total win for sure,
Big time. Big time.
right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, Irvin's identity is deeply intertwined with the Ghanaian Kenti print,
Correct.
and it's a symbol of resilience and self-discovery. I'm all about self-discovery. That's why I was like, yep, that's a topic we're going to talk about.
Yes.
The Kenti print is a powerful reminder to embrace and love oneself, regardless of societal expectations. And yeah, the collaboration with the Ghanaian designer,
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Ahmed, right?
Yeah, Ahmed Pate. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually emphasize, supporting people, and that's why you got him into this. And now his prints are, all over your design, which is
Correct.
so
Yeah.
cool. So for Lionel, bravery isn't just a concept, it's a way of life. He believes that the brave ones are not superhumans, but individuals who face their fears. So URBEON's mantra, it is not the good, the smart, or the rich who wins in life, it's the
It's a
brave
brave
one.
one.
Hey, I like that. His journey with Irving is not just about clothing, it's a movement and an invitation to live a life filled with a little bit more bravery in doing so. So welcome to Redefined Talks, Lionel.
Oh my gosh. I feel more than welcome right now. You've done a way better job than I would have done myself.
I put some research and heart into this.
That's deep research because
Yeah.
wherever you found that information,
Website.
man, it's crazy.
Website.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man.
Only use your website.
Oh my gosh. That's so good. It's great. And you really touched every point. You put everything together.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been said any better.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I'm so, so happy. Yeah,
Nice.
well, we're going to talk about Urbian. We're going to talk about your brand. We're going to talk about you, your visions, and networking and all of that.
Yes.
So, I would like to talk on the significance of visions, building your personal brand, being consistent in networking. But first, let's start with our interview questions.
Yes. Let's go ahead.
All right, so what motivated you to start building your own brand and how did you go about it?
Yeah. And by the way, before even getting into that,
Yeah,
thank you very much for having me here.
you're so welcome.
It's quite inspiring and it's really great seeing your journey and seeing everything you're putting together.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it's really an honor to be part of it.
Oh,
So thank you
thanks.
very much for having me here. So journey, you
Hmm.
mentioned visions and how
Yeah.
I go about it, right?
Yes.
So I believe if you do not have a vision,
Hmm.
it's kind of just stepping into a car and just
Yeah.
driving.
True.
Like you don't know where you're headed.
Nope.
You have to visualize it
Yeah.
and know like this is my final destination or this is where
Yeah.
I'm headed.
Yeah.
And you're able to navigate through life
Yeah.
and make wise decisions knowing they're going to
Mm.
bring you to
Hmm.
that destination.
True.
So
True.
without being able to visualize it,
Hmm.
you're just living. Literally, you're
Mm.
not making an impact. You're not
Mm.
creating your life, you're just
Mm.
living, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it extremely important to have a vision in life.
Yeah.
And I think most people disconnect from it because of the definitions which are being hyped
Oh yeah.
about visions.
Yeah.
It's like this big thing which, you know, you need a board and all the rest. Having a vision
Yeah.
board is great, but it should start in your mind. Like you should have the picture in your mind,
Yeah.
and that will guide you through every step, every decision which you make.
Facts.
And
Facts.
how I go about it,
Mm-hmm.
it's so it wasn't a process that came, you know, all of a sudden, like
Mm.
just making one big move and
Yeah.
suddenly you have visions in your mind.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I knew
Mm-hmm.
I was at a certain position,
Yeah.
which was not enough
Mm.
to get to where I want to get, to
Yeah.
even know
Yeah.
where I want to go,
Mm-hmm.
to even know more about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It started all the way from there, like knowing
Yeah.
it's like a whole
Mm-hmm.
study program, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to keep learning one chapter after the next.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to be conscious of the fact that
Mm-hmm.
every day you
Yeah.
should be learning something new.
Oof. Preach.
So it had to do with personal development,
Oh yeah.
just
Big one.
understanding myself.
Big one.
Why do I behave the way
Mm.
I behave or
Yeah.
react the way I react to certain things,
Yes.
right? So after understanding that,
Mm-hmm.
you start projecting that into the world.
Oh yeah.
Like now I know my position, I know a bit more about myself,
Mm-hmm.
which of course is an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know that it's not only about me,
Mm.
I'm living with people. We're in a big community, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start going from yourself
Yeah.
into the world
Yeah.
and building empathy,
Yeah. Yeah.
you start understanding people, understanding
Mhm.
people's problems,
Yep.
the difficulties.
Yep.
And that's when you start working out solutions in your mind. Like how can I make a certain situation
Yeah.
or something someone is going through
Yeah.
better for them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you start defining
How
goals.
can you impact?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like goals in your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, I think
Mm-hmm.
the world, I think this person,
Yeah.
I think my life would be
Mhm.
better
Mm-hmm.
if I could just contribute this little piece.
Just, you know, give it to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just a little piece.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself is already the vision
Yeah.
because you now know what you want to do, right? You now know where you want to go. You now know the solution you want to see.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
So if let's say you love
Mm-hmm.
helping out kids
Mm-hmm.
who are not great in school,
Mm.
that's the vision.
Mm.
You see kids
Mm-hmm.
doing better at school and you
Mhm.
want to play your own part, your own role in making that happen, right? So
Yeah.
visions for me
Mm-hmm.
are connected to a why.
Oof.
So
100.
there's this book from Simon Sinek
Oh,
called
yeah.
Start with the Why.
Start with why.
It changed my life.
I guess you recommended me that book.
I did recommend that book.
And I started reading it, and I'm like at page 50.
Really? That's one of the best things that happened to me
Wow.
because you always
Yeah.
have to start with the why. Like
Yeah.
why am I here? Why
Yeah.
are we seated in this room?
Mm-hmm.
You
What's
know,
the purpose of it?
exactly.
Yeah.
If you do not know why you're doing it, you wouldn't go the distance to even have this working and set up, you know.
Facts.
So
Facts.
for me, the why is connected to
Mm-hmm.
how you see things being better and the why. Like those are the two things that would drive you to go
Yeah.
closer to a certain place which you pictured in your
In
mind
my-
and keep reinforcing.
I feel like that is the best definition of vision that I've heard. Like, you can search social media and then it's always connected to, as you said, like vision boards, having this like materialistic life and, you know, something like tangible for the outside to see.
Exactly.
But actually, a vision really starts with you asking yourself, like, what can I improve? What can I impact in this world, in this society?
Yes.
And I love the example that you gave. Like, okay, it's also a vision of yours if you say you want to help children in school that are not doing good. That is a vision.
Exactly.
It is a
Exactly.
vision, but
Yeah.
try to put that on a vision board.
Exactly. You know, the thing with like you said on social media, it's always about having that big house, having that nice car, and having the travel and everything, you know, which is good.
Yeah, sure.
But they limit it only to those things,
Yeah.
the big things.
Yeah. True.
And secondly, they don't help you understand how to go from point A to point B. If let's say your vision is
Preach.
having, I don't know, a big 6-room house somewhere on the beach, you really have to understand what you are doing today, what
Yeah.
you're doing this week, what you're doing this month to make that happen. So if your goal is, say, 2 years from now, you want to run a 6-figure company,
Yeah.
what does that mean? Just having it on a board somewhere
Yeah.
and looking at it every day, it helps, but it doesn't end there. You have to break it down into small steps, right? Knowing, okay, what does that process mean? So what should I accomplish this week,
Yeah.
which is bringing me closer to that
To that
goal?
goal.
So bringing everything down to
Yeah.
really small consumable steps. I think that's the key part
Yeah.
in defining a vision, not just seeing it, but telling yourself it's like the next step. After you've seen it, you now bring it to, a friend of mine, he always calls it filling the gap. So there is a you in the future,
Yeah.
there is a you now,
Yeah.
and there's a big gap of network, talent, resources in between.
Experiences, everything.
And
Yeah.
you have to fill that gap.
Yeah.
That's how you make your visions come true,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is so. I feel like that it's very timely as well now that the series is ending. People are like getting into their goals and visions, and also me, I created a vision board, but now I'm like I'm gonna do it again, especially with your input, because yeah, I feel like we can also like put emotions onto the vision board.
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be materialistic. It can be a feeling. It could be like whatever.
Legit. Yeah.
So yeah.
No, definitely. The vision board, like you said, even no matter what's on it,
Yeah.
it should have a why.
It should.
It should have a reason
Yeah.
why it's on it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be like, oh, everyone is talking about the next Tesla, so I'm putting it. You should know why. Like, I, for example,
Yeah.
I've always loved Tesla because of the design and the
Yeah.
fact that it's at least arguably good
Yeah.
for the environment.
Yeah.
Right. So that's push. It's not just like, oh, a nice fancy car that
Because of the
represents
design
exactly
and
our
the status.
status. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
more like, okay, I know why I want to drive that car. So whatever
True.
you're putting on your vision board,
Yeah.
have a why, have a reason why you have it, and that would drive you enough. If there
Facts.
is no why, don't put it there.
Don't put it.
No.
Otherwise, it's just aesthetic.
Exactly.
Whatever.
It just looks good.
Yeah.
And that's it,
Yeah. Definitely. Well, in my case, my car will be a Range Rover. I haven't seen it. Like, I don't even know why it's a Range Rover for me, but it was always in me.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why, like, ever since I created my first vision board, I put a Range Rover on it up until now. Like, I'm not going to remove the Range Rover.
Yeah, yeah,
Not even G-Wagon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Although I love a G-Wagon, but it's a Range Rover because the why from the very beginning, it was a Range Rover.
That, like, I see you
Yeah.
looking so peng in a G. No, not a G-Wagon, in a Range Rover.
Range,
Yeah, like I really.
right?
There's something in that picture, and to whoever is listening, if you see Martina in live, you would understand why she fits into that car. Yeah.
I mean, gotta represent, you know. Thank you.
Good, you're welcome.
All right, let's talk about the next question.
Yes.
So, how do you maintain consistency in your work and brand?
Oh, in my work and brand. So first of all, I think the consistency part,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it comes in easy, but it kind of gets set into motion easier for me because I love what I'm doing. Right.
Here we go.
It's like I love it.
Yeah.
Everything around, I just love doing it.
Yeah.
I would spend the whole night and
Yeah.
would never complain. It's like loving to play basketball. You could play till all the energy in your body is finished, right?
Yeah.
And I think that makes it easier for you to stay consistent because the love for that thing is there already.
It's real.
That's a big problem for most people who just do it for the money. Because when you do not see the money, you quit. It gets difficult. But if you love it, the money is just a byproduct. Like you just see it come. So first you have to love what you're doing.
True.
Now the next part or parts, that's where it gets really, I wouldn't say mental, but interesting. Right? So I mentioned earlier about understanding yourself.
Yes.
And then understanding that you are dealing with people in the world, right? For me to stay consistent, I try to put things in place that make it easier for me. So let's take an example. If I want to work out in the morning, the night before, I set up my running gear on the carpet, the living room area.
Oh, okay.
Once I'm stepping out, there's a bottle of water I drink. That's what I'm thinking about, just dressing up, wearing that, and I'm ready to go.
See.
I do not give myself the chance to
As
start
an
thinking.
excuse.
Exactly. To let anything come in between, you know? So I always try to set my surrounding up for consistency. When you listen to big motivational speakers or successful people, there's that belief. I just always give them the benefit of the doubt. I know you are successful because you've done something. If you tell me that's the thing, I don't want to see proof. I'm just doing it. Right? And that was my start. I would listen to motivational videos every morning. Right? When I wake up, that's the first thing I do on YouTube. Look for a 10-minute motivational video and just start my day with it. So you're listening to someone who is great. It's like they're talking to you at that moment, you know.
That one.
And that motivates me a lot to just kick off my day.
Definitely.
It's like you have your role model, your idol talking to you, you know.
Addressing you.
Exactly. But that led to more. So because I used to work a lot, I spent a lot of time alone at home, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
And at first, you know, I was scared that I'll be missing out a lot.
FOMO, hello.
Yeah, you know, FOMO has always been a big thing in my life, you know. But I didn't miss it because I was enjoying what I was doing, you know. And it quickly made me understand this concept of being alone, but not feeling lonely.
Preach.
You know. And I will build a connection later on because
please.
For the consistency part,
Yeah.
making things help you stay consistent, there are like 3 different levels I can address that. So first is your circle, your surrounding, your people.
Your environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who do you keep around you? You know? Ooh. So for me, it's like, if I know that there is this person who helps me get closer to my goal, my targets, whatever that is, I try to keep you around.
You connect with them.
Exactly. But on the other hand, I keep everything else off, which I know is not helpful.
You have to.
Exactly.
You have to.
And that's like the first step of understanding that the fact that I'm keeping people away consciously does not make me a lonely person.
No.
You know, I'm just spending valuable time by myself.
It's an act of self-love.
Exactly.
And self-respect.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really, that's it.
Yeah.
And when I give that to myself, it helps me be able to use my time for the things which are necessary.
Yeah.
Thus keeping me consistent.
Yep.
The next thing I play around with a lot, you know, came up with this habit of watching the videos in the morning. It made me understand the difference between controlling social media and getting controlled by social media. Right.
Well, we actually have to make an extra episode on this topic.
Yeah.
And I know who I'm going to invite next. So yeah.
I'm willing to spill it all out. So just a quick version of that. So what happens is, if you go on YouTube, for example, in the morning you search for, let's say, an Afrobeats dance tutorial video.
Yeah, I can relate.
You know, you wake up in the morning, you search for it, you look at 3, 4, 5 of them. probably the next morning already at that same time, or latest 2 days later, if you do that consistently, YouTube automatically
The algorithm.
proposes it to you.
Yeah.
So at that time, once you open up your phone on YouTube, that's what you get as a proposal. Same thing with Instagram. If you start searching for, I don't know, some workout videos.
Yeah.
Once you go in your search feed,
Yeah.
guess what you see?
Workout videos.
Workout videos.
Sure.
So what always happens is the algorithm
Yeah.
picks out what you
put in.
exactly what you put in.
Yeah.
And amplifies it and gives you more. But the thing is, we do not
True.
go to these platforms for, say, personal development, education. We go for fun.
Yeah, entertainment.
Exactly.
Right?
So it keeps giving you a bunch of entertainment each time you go there.
Yep.
And the bad thing is, it's entertainment which you love.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult for you to even hold yourself back.
And that's why it's addictive.
Exactly. So what I do is when I go on these platforms, I am adamant about this. I search for the things which I know will help me.
I love that.
You know, so I'm letting the algorithm work for me. Right. And that saves me mental work in staying consistent. So for me, it's automatic. Every morning, you can check my YouTube. Every morning, once I wake up, it's a 10-minute motivational video which is being proposed.
Damn.
Most of the time, even from a YouTuber called Lionel Njefi. It just happened that he has
the same name as you.
Exactly.
Stop.
And he has the dopest videos, like the best cuts of motivational videos, you know.
Wow.
So for me, automatic, in the morning, motivation. Around the afternoon area, it's always basketball and soccer reviews, because that's what I do during my break. When I'm having lunch, I search for them, I watch them. It's automatic. It gets proposed during that time. At night, it's rain sounds, because I use it to go to bed to sleep.
Can I just say how I'm more than impressed, first off.
Yeah.
The thing is, that requires so much self-control and discipline.
For sure.
I mean, like literally, it's like, okay, so motivational in the morning, your break time is even like planned what you're going to consume.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, also like rain sounds that actually also benefit you and don't dumb you out.
Exactly.
So that is a level of self-commitment, self-love, self-respect, and discipline.
Thank you. And that's how you. So I don't need to think about it.
Yeah, because it's
doing it for me, making the whole point of staying consistent even easier.
And that's what I wanted to say, because you have to facilitate things for you.
Exactly.
Because we are so used to like instant gratifications and things like, you know, if we desire something, we can just get it. We can order it, we can watch it, we can whatever.
Exactly.
But things that actually benefit us and help us are more like difficult.
Yeah, they feel difficult.
It feels difficult until it's also mindset shift, because you have to, I mean, of course, you can like start doing this today and tomorrow you're going to be back at watching entertainment videos. But it has to first happen in your head, right?
Yeah.
And then you can actually implement it in reality.
And that's the third level.
Okay, continue.
Of the consistency plan, if I can call it that way.
Yeah.
So this one is actually if you can master this one, you're way better off than most people.
True.
And it's about understanding you. This thing we call the brain, right? Because you mentioned things which are not entertainment.
Yeah.
They often come off as difficult. They feel like it's work.
Yep.
So the day my life changed at that level was when I understood the purpose of my brain. Right? So what does your brain do? You have the conscious and you have the subconscious.
Yes, sir.
So now we're talking, it's like the conscious brain working.
Yep.
But everything you do, which is automatic, is your subconscious brain.
Yep.
And one of the biggest roles it has is to keep you alive.
The subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep you alive.
Yeah.
That's why when you hear like tires screeching on the road,
You
immediately
already
you
know
turn
you
like, oh,
stop and
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
adrenaline,
Yeah.
you want to run away.
Yeah.
It's not you thinking, it's like your subconscious mind programmed that way. So if we think of it logically, the fastest way someone could lose their life logically is by running out of energy. It's like a phone having 100%, you keep using it and the battery dies and that's it.
Yeah.
The less you use the phone, the longer it takes before the battery dies.
Yeah.
So your brain is trying to help you as much as possible to save energy. So sometimes when you feel lazy,
Damn. Okay.
when you think you feel lazy, it's your body telling you, bro or sis, stay in bed, man. Don't waste that energy. Or the whole night, we don't know, but we're sweating the whole night and we're losing water.
Yeah.
And your body knows any form of movement
Yeah.
will make you lose more water.
Yeah.
So no, don't move, man. Just chill. Lay back and chill. Just stay in the couch.
Yeah.
So sometimes we even tell ourselves like we're lazy, but we just don't know that the body is doing what it's programmed to do. And from that moment, it changed a lot. So whenever I get a trigger to do something,
Yeah.
I do the switch. I'm like, oh, okay, are you making me feel this way because you think you are helping me to stay alive? Or do I really need it right now? So when I want to go work out, and I know my body hates it because it knows it's gonna hurt. Life is gonna be not as tasteful and nice because of the pain.
Yeah.
You'll be burning down energy.
Yeah.
When I have to take a cold shower, for example, and it's like it feels like the worst thing in life. That's just your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Telling you, hey, I want you to stay alive and have the best life possible.
And I want you to be comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I had this experience recently. I always do I always go for a run in the morning.
Yeah.
My schedule got messed up and I couldn't do it. So I was like, if I don't go for a run, let me just do something. And the first was like doing push-ups. I just want to do push-ups. I don't want to do a lot. Just do push-ups, right? It's easy. I know my limits.
Yep.
And I just do it, right?
And you can do it everywhere.
Exactly.
Also, no excuses.
So I just started with that. But then I started pushing my limits bit by bit, adding other stuff. So before I start, I feel like I'm going to throw out because my mind knows this is the worst thing you're doing to yourself. But I know why I'm doing it and why it's making me feel that way.
Yeah.
So you have those 3 different levels.
Yeah.
The kind of people you keep around, how you use your surrounding with social media to help you to work for you rather than working against you, and also understanding how your brain is wired to work, and know that what you're feeling at that moment is not necessarily what you need, but what it thinks you should have, and then you make it do what you want it to do. Right. So when I'm feeling like I'm tired, life is coming to an end, and I still go out for a run, it's because I know that that feeling is not what I need, but that run is what I need. So hey, Mr. Brain, I know what you're doing.
You cannot just drop Mr. Brain without explaining people. See, actually, in the introduction, I should have said Lionel Njefi, aka Mr. Brain, because that makes sense. No way, that makes sense. I actually came up with this name for him.
Exactly. That was you.
That was me, right? And then, like, now you actually know how your brain
now
works.
I know what my brain does,
Okay, so it was intentional. I mean, it was intentional as I called you Mr. Brain, but now it's even more intentional.
Now it's even more intentional, because understanding what that brain does,
That's crazy.
And so those are the 3 different planes, I would say. But one thing which made a bigger change for me was when I heard the principle of one more.
Yeah.
So
sounds familiar.
If you say you're gonna do, you're gonna send out 10 emails, send out 11. If you say you're gonna walk 10,000 steps, do 10,010.
Oh, I thought 10,001.
or one in that case is like,
Yeah, okay, okay.
yeah. But
Yeah.
for me, it's like when I do the push-ups,
Mm,
if I'm doing 30, I do 31.
yeah,
If I'm doing my basketball shots,
yeah,
if I'm to do 20, I do 21.
yeah.
I just always do one
One
more,
more.
because
That's the best way to increase.
exactly.
Like subconsciously.
Yes. Because when you check up the
Subconsciously.
compound effect, you end up doing more, you know.
Yeah.
And it was such a good
Mm.
training for me because
Yeah.
I came to understand that the limit
Mm-hmm.
my mind thinks I have
Mm-hmm.
is actually not my limit because I'm doing one more. My body made me feel like that's the end, but I could do
I'm
one
telling
more,
you. I'm telling you. That's why I feel like if you're into personal development, you understand how significant it is to work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
When people ask me like, why do you work out so often? Now, okay, I kind of like stagnated because due to health issues, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason why I used to work out is because I understand the connection between personal development and working out.
Yeah.
It's it goes hand in hand because working out it's hard. It's not always fun.
Yeah.
It's not always enjoyable. But the more you put yourself into situations that are uncomfortable or into situations that require you to put more effort into something, it actually translates into other fields in
Exactly.
situations in your life.
Yeah.
So using this compound effect, you adding one more rep on your exercise
Yeah.
will also lead to you sending one more email out or
Exactly.
going the extra mile for a friend or whatever
Yes.
because you're in the mindset of it already.
And the funny thing is, you don't know how proud you feel of yourself
Yeah,
when
that's true.
you've accomplished one more.
Yeah, true.
Like you feel it's a boost, and there's
Yeah,
this recommendation that always gets given to start the day
yeah.
by accomplishing something, no matter how small. If
Mm,
you
yeah,
if you say my goal is to drink, say, a glass of water every morning,
yeah.
even if it feels like it wouldn't go down my throat, once you finish drinking that,
You'll
that
be
feeling
like,
of it's a boost which goes through the rest of the day.
see, yeah. I feel like I've multiple thoughts already, but like I feel like we start our days already unhappy because we know what will await us if we hate our jobs, for
Yeah,
example. So we don't even think about starting a day on a positive note. But if you do that, that already wires something in you.
exactly.
It already changes something positive in you.
Definitely. A book I'll recommend, which says a lot about that, is The 5 a.m. Club.
Say less, I read that 2 years ago.
Like, really, it explains to you what happens when you work out in the morning,
Yeah,
for example.
yeah.
Like, I would definitely recommend that to everyone to
Me
take a
too.
look at it,
Me too.
you know.
Definitely.
But, one thing, like you mentioned, starting your day right. So, just a quick rundown of my
Yeah.
case when I
Yeah,
wake
yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
please.
your phone, I have an iPhone.
Yep.
At some point, the internet, your data keeps going through. Even if you put it on, you turn it off, right?
Yeah.
It gets on and your notifications come in.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I pick up my phone, those are the first things I see.
Yeah.
So before I had I think the 8 Plus, where you have just a button.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't look at it. I would just look away and press and unlock because I don't want to know which notification
Yeah.
awaits me. I
You
don't
don't
want to
want to be
stress my
bothered
brain.
already.
Yeah. On
Mm-hmm.
my homepage,
Yeah.
there's nothing that sends me notifications. WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, they're on different slides. So on that first page, I only have stuff like Spotify, YouTube, because either I want the right music, the right playlist to get me in the mood,
Yeah.
or I'm going directly to YouTube to start. So I don't let anything
Damn.
distract me. I'm
Yep.
going straight to the start. And that's how my day kicks off,
Yep.
So
Yep.
like same thing, using what you have to really get what you need.
That is so good. That is so, so, so good. I also like I don't know when I started this, but I don't check my phone first things first in the morning.
Yeah,
Not the first 30 minutes, maybe it like even I spend some days not going on my phone for like the first 2 hours.
that's great. That's really great.
It really, and I'm so like happy because I made it a habit. For me, like, for example, when I'm like, when I'm out with friends and sleeping at friends' house, whatever, and they go on the phone first things first, it kind of gives me the ick.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you really want to go on, you really want to go on Instagram right now, but you just woke up. You didn't even say good morning, you know?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
for me, it's just very unnatural to go on your phone
Mm-hmm.
because your brain isn't even awake yet. You
Exactly.
haven't realized what you maybe even dreamt of, you know? Like, we don't give ourselves time to enter the morning, I
Yes.
would say. To enter the morning, to start the day on a positive note in that case,
You
too.
start by being controlled.
Back to controlling, right?
Yeah.
Back to controlling. Mm, yeah,
Because that's it. Like you start by letting social media determine or dictate how
yeah.
you feel. If
Mm,
it's a bad video, you know how you feel.
mm-hmm,
If it's a great video, you know how you feel. If it's a wedding video,
mm-hmm,
you want to get married, you
mm-hmm.
know how you feel, you
Yeah,
know. So you start your day by letting something else dictate it to you rather than
yeah.
be like, okay, I love myself so much that I want to give myself a
Mm,
great day.
mm.
And because of that, I'm starting right.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
First off, how old are you?
I'm 33 now.
Okay, 33. When did this whole shift start and
Yeah.
why?
The whole shift started uh I think I must have been about 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
Like most things in my life started late,
Mm.
you know, because from my parents, I'm the youngest.
Oh,
And also, as mom's handbag, didn't need to think about anything, you know, just living, you know.
mom's handbag.
Yeah, mom would take me
Say
everywhere. Yeah.
no,
My mom was a
not the
French,
mom's handbag. Oh
my mom
yeah,
was a French teacher, and sometimes during class, I would sit at the back, you know.
no way. In
Yeah,
Cameroon,
in Cameroon.
Cameroon,
Exactly.
Cameroon. Sorry, we're talking
So,
English.
yeah. So it's like most things started late, and
Mm,
because coupled with multiple other things, I
yeah.
always have a very high inferiority complex.
Okay.
Like I always felt less valuable than
Mm,
anyone and felt like I had to always prove myself and stuff like that.
mm,
So one of my best friends right now,
mm-hmm,
while we studied, I always looked up to him.
mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm,
Cool guy. I always look, even when he would buy new cargo pants, I want
mm-hmm,
to get the same. I just
mm.
loved everything about him
Yeah,
and always looked up to him.
yeah.
Um, he moved from Kiel, the city where I studied,
Mm-hmm,
and he had some issues.
mm-hmm,
Like he just needed someone to talk to,
mm,
and he reached out to me.
mm, mm.
And in my mind, I was like, "What the heck?
Whoa, why me?
Why
Like
me?"
what?
So with
Mm,
everyone, he
yeah.
chose me, and
Mm,
it was like, how on earth could such a person even need, you know, assistance and then choose me?
mm,
And I was dedicated to be like, okay, whatever it is, I'm
yeah.
gonna help this guy.
Wow.
Took a train or bus, whatever, went there
Mm,
and spent a few days,
mm-hmm,
and we could talk. He could open up. We
mm,
started this thing of just talking about our
mm,
issues with each other, and
mm,
that started boosting this whole idea of,
mm-hmm,
you know, when you're opening up to someone,
yeah.
you trust.
Oh yeah.
You know, it makes you see things which
Mm-hmm,
you're blinded by
yeah.
just by you being you. You know, it's
Mm,
like a problem shared is half solved.
yeah.
So during these processes,
Mm-hmm,
it started catching my attention. Like, okay, why is this? Okay, I'm feeling this way, but
mm,
why is that? And
mm,
that's just how it started.
yeah.
And around that time,
Mm-hmm,
I had started working on the whole entrepreneurship thing.
mm,
And that's when the whole connection started
mm,
building, you know,
mm-hmm. I get
started
it.
putting myself in
Yeah.
spaces. When you go and search for videos on, say, online marketing,
Yeah.
someone has set their ad to target people who are
Mm-hmm,
entrepreneurs because
mm-hmm.
they search for that, and you see
Yeah.
a video which is
Yeah.
about personal development or
Yeah.
coaching. Like it really just started step by step.
Mm-hmm,
And in the process,
mm-hmm,
I kept discovering more about myself
mm-hmm.
and started seeing things which were, in my opinion, not okay. And I
Mm,
had to figure out, okay, how do I then
mm,
get better? How do I fix it?
mm-hmm,
It really just started with that.
mm. So it started with a vulnerable situation.
Yes. It
You,
started from a very bad place, kind of.
yeah,
I wasn't even that aware of,
yeah,
you know, how bad it was.
mm,
But that was the source
yeah,
of me being as great as I am now,
mm,
you know.
yeah,
And that in itself is a lesson.
mm, true.
Like don't always look at
Mm-hmm.
situations as
Mm-hmm.
bad, broken, negative, but look for the
No.
lesson behind it.
Yeah.
Because now you know one thing
Yeah.
that's wrong,
Yeah.
meaning
And
you
now
know what you
you know.
should not do.
Yeah, and you know how to fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know. So I took that perspective from that point and just
Mm-hmm.
kept building and
Yeah.
improving and moving forward.
Wow. That is so deep. That is really, really deep. So the thing is, people oftentimes think maybe you were just like this from very early on.
Oh man. I would say the only thing I really enjoyed was just being the youngest and
It's comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only
You don't have
thing,
to worry.
But it's like the things I experienced during that phase,
Yeah.
during that time,
Mm-hmm.
because I came to the point where I understood that most of what we are today
Mm-hmm.
is highly influenced by our childhood experiences.
100.
And I had to dig deep. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw so many dead bodies in my basement, like so many wrong things and bad things that happened back
Well,
then.
yeah.
So, no, I wasn't that way. Like, I wasn't born this way.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it came from just
Mm-hmm.
life,
Mm-hmm.
living, and realizing that something is off,
Yeah.
and thinking, okay, for example, when I had URBEON,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that URBEON is like a baby. You have to
Yeah.
give it what it
You have
needs.
to nurture it.
Exactly. You have to step out of your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean, stepping out of your way?
Mm.
Those were things which brought me to
Mm-hmm.
these skill sets which I have now.
Yeah.
I definitely was not born this way.
Hmm.
You know,
Nobody was,
nobody
actually.
nobody is,
Nobody is.
and
Yeah.
someone can be gifted in something.
Mm.
There was this little interview with her from Jeff Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling kids, like, was it kids? I think he was just mentioning, like, you could
Mm-hmm.
be good at mathematics
Mm-hmm.
naturally,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you should not be proud of things which you acquired naturally. Be proud of what you use it to do, because you're really not making any effort in being good in mathematics.
You're not making a change or a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
So good, you're good
True.
in mathematics, or you're good in remembering things.
So
But
what?
what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
You know.
True.
So even people who think that they are born with
Mm-hmm.
certain skills or advantages, it means nothing if you're doing nothing with it. You know.
You know how passionate I am about talking about purpose, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
finding
Yeah.
yourself, self-discovery. That's the main thing. Like, you are not created the way you are, experiencing all the things in your life for you to keep it to yourself and sit
Yeah.
with it
Exactly.
and not doing anything about it. Where will this bring us? Like,
Exactly.
it won't bring us forward.
Yeah. 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 I just feel like we have to understand that we as individuals collectively have a big impact on the whole world.
100.
You think no one notices you. You have these moments where you step into, say, the train or the bus, and someone's look just messes your day.
Messes
Like,
your day.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that person just has a long, angry face,
Yeah.
without ever talking to that person.
Yeah.
Or you see someone just laughing, having a phone call, and you're like, oh, how nice.
Yeah,
So
true.
without even knowing anyone,
Yeah.
you're already influencing people around you. So never think that
Never think
because,
you're unseen.
yeah, you're unseen, or, oh, I have this talent. No, you're always doing something, either consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah.
And what better way is there than to consciously know what impact you're having than just sitting and guessing, or maybe I did this, or maybe I caused this. No. Take action,
Preach.
Yeah, take action.
Talking about taking action. Let's talk about networking.
Yes.
Because I respect how often you show up and are like in Hamburg, like
Yeah.
several events. You just show up, you represent yourself, your brand. How
True.
do you do that? Like, what are your tips, and what's the significance of networking?
Yeah. So, there's this famous phrase that says your network is your net worth,
Love that one.
you know,
I live by it.
and still again,
Mm.
most people misunderstand that because when they
Yeah.
hear net worth, they think of money, like how much you have,
Now I'm biting my
you
tongue.
know.
Yeah.
They think of all of that,
Yeah.
but they fail to understand
Mm-hmm.
just the underlying truth about that
Mm-hmm.
statement.
Yeah.
I have situations where
Mm-hmm.
maybe someone is searching for an apartment here in Hamburg, or
Mm.
I have someone who needs a job somewhere in Berlin.
Yeah.
I just go on my WhatsApp
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Instagram story,
Yep.
text a few people, like
Yep.
that's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's more valuable than having all the money and not having your problems fixed,
Totally.
you know?
Totally.
And that's how I personally, I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
Like I really just love being amongst people and
Yeah.
seeing everyone happy and
Yeah.
nice. That's why it's easier for me to go to these events,
Mm.
and being there, engaging in
Yeah.
conversations,
Yeah.
because I always learn something from someone.
True.
Always.
True. True. True.
And like even moments where I'm stuck in certain ideas,
Yeah.
certain spaces because
Mm.
I don't know, you just talk to someone
Mm-hmm.
and boom,
Yeah.
that aha moment
Yeah.
comes in. So the
Mm.
reason why I love going to these events, first of all, to represent the brand for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I just want to meet people.
Yep.
I want to know what people are struggling with and how I can
Mm-hmm.
help them.
Mm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
how can I be in a space
Mm-hmm.
and help people to just have a great time, feel
Mm-hmm.
good?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's life,
Yeah.
you know.
True.
Every second counts how good you spend it. So I just love that aspect about it.
Mm.
I'm getting more and more selective
Mm-hmm.
about where I want to go and why and stuff like that.
You have to.
Yeah, but at the end, that's one of the things that drives me because you go there and you just see happy people.
Yeah.
You just see happy people. Some are fulfilled, some are lost, some are
Yeah.
curious,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just make life happen. And within
Mm.
those connections,
Mm-hmm.
you never know which one is going to come in handy
True.
the next day, the next
True.
week. And always the other way around as well.
Yeah.
So not only what you would get from people,
But what she can give as well.
exactly. And
Mm.
that should be the focus actually.
I'm telling you. And that's why, again, to the not, you're not unseen. Even if you're amongst like hundreds of people at a networking event,
Yeah.
people still notice you. Oh, I like his shoes. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Maybe you inspired him to get a pair of shoes,
Yeah.
or the style, if we're just talking like superficially.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
if you like even talk to that person, the way the person talks, something always, like, we always admire something about
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the right environment, of course.
Exactly.
It has to be in the right setting, you know.
Yes.
But then you just feed your brain things and give your imagination, right?
Yeah.
Like ideas. Okay, so this is how the person talked. This is how the person walked. This is what I heard. This is what I can, you can like always collect these things.
Exactly.
So you really have to go to the right settings in
Yes.
that case. But when you go to networking events, or let's say, okay, the question other way around. Do you specifically go to networking events, or do you just go to gatherings and make it a networking for you,
Yeah.
for your business, and whatever?
Oh, okay. So for me to go to a gathering, I have to feel
Mm-hmm.
the sense of the gathering.
Mm-hmm.
What is it for?
Mm.
Is it just, a bunch of guys all
Mm.
mixed with ladies
Mm.
meeting up to get a
Mm-hmm.
beer and just,
Mm-hmm.
talk about everything
Mm-hmm.
and nothing?
Mm.
If I need that energy,
And
I'm
you go.
going,
Yeah.
If I don't need it, I'm not going.
Mm.
Networking events specifically
Mm.
have that goal,
Yeah.
networking.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to such an event, I
Mm-hmm.
know that's what I'm going there for.
Yeah.
And as funny as it may sound, it's
Mm.
it's always a platform for me to work on myself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go to these events, you know nobody.
No padding.
You have to learn how to communicate,
Yeah.
how to talk to people, how to build
Yeah.
connections,
Yeah.
So it always depends on what the purpose is. When it's a
Yeah.
networking thing, I'm always driven. I always like to be there,
Mm.
get to understand more about a certain, area of
Mm,
expertise and stuff like
mm,
that. I just
mhm,
like it,
mhm,
you know. And I'm always a curious person.
mhm,
But when it comes to just say leisure and
mhm,
meeting up with people,
mhm,
I then sit and think, okay, is that the highest priority? Do I need it right now?
mm.
If I do, then oof,
Okay.
I'm off. You
Yeah.
know. If not, nah, I'll stay home and have things to do. You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about the like beginning part of you saying, for example, sometimes your body gives you impulses of things it needs. I'm tired, so gotta save the energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like with our whole society built around systems, going to school, going to work, being forced by doing things, like I feel like women in that case also have it a bit worse, including their, like periods when they
Yeah.
don't feel well, hormonal, whatever. Like men are like more okay with going through lows, but still having to do this obligation.
Yeah.
Women, we have to force it.
Yeah.
But like no matter the gender, right?
Yeah.
Fact is, we all have needs, we all have energy reserves.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, let's say you wake up completely drained.
Yeah.
You are unhappy with your life. You want change.
Yeah.
But then there's like, okay, gotta pay bills. Okay,
Oh yeah.
now I'm forced to go to the job because otherwise I'll lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now with my family, I have to do. It's like we're forced to be in situations we don't like
Yeah. True.
because society puts us
Yes.
in this situation.
Yes.
But actually, and that's what I always like say and oftentimes think, because when people like complain, I always listen. I'm empathetic, right?
Yeah.
But deep down, and I also tell them myself, because sometimes I'm also like in this victim mentality
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously. And then I'm like, okay, but who's actually like, do you have a shackle on your foot? Are you forced to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you forced to stay? Or do you think you have to because you have no other choice?
Mm. Yeah.
And that's why sometimes in life you have to take risks in order to get somewhere where you wouldn't have gone because you're still stuck there.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I love this aspect of risk taking.
Risk
I
taking,
love
right?
it
Yep.
because while
Mm.
everyone focuses
Mm-hmm.
on the downside of the
Mm-hmm.
risk not paying out, I focus on the good side. And
It's about
every
perspective.
adverse situation I find myself in
Yeah.
is a chance to grow. You don't
Yeah.
grow when you're comfortable.
No.
You grow when things are tough, you know.
Mm.
So bring it on. You know,
Yeah.
I want to go for that risk,
Yeah.
and no matter the outcome,
Yeah.
I'm ready for both of them, you know,
Mm.
because in both outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
I only see positivity.
Mm.
Either I win
Yeah.
and things get better,
Yeah.
or I do not win, but
Mm-hmm.
I learn a lesson.
Yeah.
And within that space,
Yeah.
I have to learn and know how to navigate to
Yeah.
get myself to the other side.
That's the thing.
So it's just a matter of perspective, you know.
Is the reason why you have this mindset because you want to achieve great things and you have a big vision in life? Or do you think it's normal to be like this? But society is just brainwashed and they don't think clearly.
Yeah. So with being like this, you mean about having this mindset
This
and going
mindset
about,
and
yeah.
like, yeah, just everything.
So
Your
for me,
perspective,
yeah,
basically.
for me
Mm.
it's more like first I'm very driven when it comes to things that I love,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm very empathetic,
Mm-hmm.
I just tend to always see
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong in a situation that can be fixed. Not saying that situation is
Mm.
bad because something is wrong, but
Mm.
oh, some it can get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always see it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense,
Mm-hmm.
my mind is always just full of goals.
Mm.
Because in almost every situation I find myself in,
Yeah.
I'm like, there is something that can be improved.
Yeah.
Like even just getting here,
Yeah.
my mind is always like, why is this thing like this? Oh,
I
that could be
feel
better. You
you.
know, like that could
Same
be.
though.
That's really
Yeah.
how my brain keeps
Yeah.
working all through, you know.
Mm.
And I would say we are
Mm-hmm.
born like this,
Mm.
but with time,
Mm.
we get to suppress those feelings
Those
and
thoughts.
switch, yeah, and
Yeah.
switch into survival mode, like you
Yeah.
said,
True.
because of the way success has been defined
Mm.
because of what we think we would go through if we do not get the money to pay the rents, for example. And it's always think it through. Let's say you don't pay your rents and you get kicked out. You cannot tell me that you don't have at least 4, 5, 6 friends here in Hamburg you could crash at the place for without them making you feel like you're a failure, like you're the worst person in life. For me, I mean, there are exceptions for sure, but to every situation we see as bad, there's always a solution. But we are afraid of the social aspects surrounding that solution. And that stops us from really tapping into that deep intuitive side of us, which just makes us driven, you know?
That's also the thing. It's intuition.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we like ignore and swallow away. It's intuition. We know we have to do a certain thing, but we're not doing it.
Exactly.
And that's intuition.
Because your mind is making you understand how uncomfortable that is, how bad your life would look, how the quality of your life would drop drastically, how you might even just die of shame because you didn't do this thing. And when you understand that your brain is playing tricks on you, you don't listen to that. You set your own rules and be like, okay, that's the path I want to take. Whatever you tell me, it's okay, I got that, but I'm still going down that path.
The one thing you do, let's say as an exercise, to untrick yourself. What exercise do you do?
The one thing I do to untrick myself, like to tell myself, okay, this is the game you're playing.
For example,
Oh. So one thing I always tell certain people is to think the situation through. Right? And be like, if that thing happens,
so
what's next?
What's
next? And you'll get to a point where you know this is really just you against yourself. It's not the situation against you, but it's your feelings, that fear inside you, which is stopping you from taking that step, you know. And secondly, since the time I understood the tricks it's playing, it's like two separate voices. So the subconscious mind is saying this, I'm like, okay, but you know. And secondly, I just love this aspect of, you know, crossing the bridge and dealing with the demon on the other side. In the sense that when we see any situation we think is bad, we always picture the baddest demons on the other side, like that's gonna tear my life apart. I'm gonna die of shame and everything. Go there and see what kind of demon is waiting for you. And most of the time you're shocked at how little that thing is, you know. So I always just tell myself these different, because back when I used to study, a friend helped us like get a job, and at the end you have to declare your taxes. And he told us, do not do it. You've earned too much. If you do it, you pay a fine and blah, blah. He scared us so bad. I was carrying that fear for 2 years. I never declared my taxes. And I was talking to one like big sis, which I have there, and told her about it. And she was like, I've never heard that. She said, let me tell you something. Go to that office. If there is fire that will burn you, let it burn you, and you know it hurts and you never do it again. But if there's no fire, get your cash, get your big pay, and you're good. And I was like, well, let them tell me I've done something wrong. Let no one else tell me. And I went into that office and they had to give me back money for the past 2 years of taxes I didn't declare. And that was a waking call.
So you actually got money.
I got money back.
You didn't.
You know, I didn't pay anything.
Y'all.
So I'm like,
this one.
You know, So I always like all these different things which we have in mind. It makes us fear things which do not exist.
And they're way worse than it actually is in reality.
Exactly. And even that pain, it's just, it will go.
It will go.
You know? So I always have, it's not just one thing I do. I always have like these different, it's like you have a wallet and you can pull out different cards at different times. That's how it works for me. So at certain situations, I know, okay, my Spotify playlist is my card. I play to just feel boosted, to feel a type of way, you know.
You have to like crack the code to yourself. You have to know how you function.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, let us, like, this conversation is way too good. And I don't want to end it here, but let's have a full circular moment, right?
Yes.
Let's wrap it up with URBEON. If URBEON weren't a fashion brand.
Yeah.
What else could it be?
If URBEON were not a fashion brand, it's quite crazy because I always have ideas of different things, different businesses I would like to build.
Yeah.
And because my focus is on URBEON, I always just create like Google Drive folders for each business idea. So I always just put it in there and, you know, keep it. So I could go back to any of them. But I see myself doing something which is related with, how do you call it? More like the teaching and coaching, you know. I think anthropology.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's something which moves me, being able to see someone, talk to them, and help them find solutions.
You know how happy I am that this year is happening?
Tell me.
Very happy. Very happy because I now understand it's not about myself in that case.
Oh, yeah.
It's about giving people a stage.
Yes.
And this, I always knew like what potential is in you. And I always knew that you can give great advice and all of that. But hearing you talk so effortlessly about these things can actually set people free. And I know that people who are going to listen to this episode will be like, damn, I have to overthink my life.
Oh, yeah.
I have to overthink my life. Here's Lionel preaching and, you know, not to like put you down in any way, but like he hasn't even reached his top goals, but he's talking like this.
I mean, I just have the vision I'm working on.
Right?
You know?
I'm also like, I'm preaching and people will be thinking, okay, she's sitting there in her mansion, whatever. No, I'm still stuck.
No, exactly.
I'm still, you know, and it's not about like you already being where you want to be, but you are like, we all already have things that people need to hear, need to see, and we have to share it.
You have to be it before you can be it. Really. Like, all you would become, you already have it in your mind. That's why you're doing what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You are that person, and then the person will come.
I'm telling you. So do you have any final tips?
Yeah, so any final tips for anyone? One, always cross the bridge. No matter the difficulty, take that bold step to cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Two, please take this seriously. Always start with the why. Why are you doing that thing at that time?
Why?
If you have why, you have enough drive and motivation to take it through.
Well, drop the mic. Thank you, Lionel, so much for being here, for blessing this start of this whole series, and also blessing people, because whoever's going to hear this, really. And thank you. So check out URBEON yourself. Check the website under URBEON.com. Follow their socials at URBEON CLO on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, also they have a YouTube channel with their, you know, street style interviews and everything entertaining. Follow Lionel as well. I hope that your Instagram account is linked somewhere.
Yeah. Lionel.nj.
Yeah, follow him because he has to build his personal brand, right?
Yeah, that's my goal for this year.
Sir.
Yeah. We'll preach.
That's it. So remember, it's not the good, the smart, or the rich who wins in life. It's the brave one. Thank you, Lionel, for being my guest.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great honor, and keep doing this. You're going to inspire more people.
Amen to that. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Perfect timing. Ich war total
in der Zone. Ja, ich auch. Es läuft sogar noch. Ey. Über eine Stunde ansetzen.
Look at her. That's her. That's the lady behind all this.
Stop.
Yeah, she's the brain behind all this. Yeah, you know, the brains are meant to be shared.
Brains are meant to be shared.
Exactly.
So nice, man. Heftig.